Hi Nancy. Down at Paul's I came across a book that's inscribed to Grandma from John, Valerie and Jennifer, Christmas 1980. And you might remember that after Grandma died and we had so many books in the library, Doc had first crack of them, and it looks like he took that one and gave it to Paul. It's got a couple of neat old poems that I remember from when I was a kid, and I thought you might get a kick out of them. So I'll read you them, and then maybe some other Kipling poems. And you have to remember that this is stuff I like, not necessarily stuff you like. So if you don't like it, you can always erase it and use the tape for something else. First one was a song called I Had But 50 Cents. I took my girl to a fancy ball. It was a social hop. We waited till the folks got out, and the music it did stop. Then to a restaurant we went, the best one on the street. She said she wasn't hungry, but this is what she eat. A dozen raw, a plate of slaw, a chicken on a roast, some apple sass and asparagus, and soft-shelled crabs on toast. A big box stew and crackers too. Her appetite was immense. When she called for pie, I thought I'd die, for I had but 50 cents. She said she wasn't hungry and didn't care to eat, but I've got money in my clothes to bet she can't be beat. She took it in so cozy, she had an awful tank. She said she wasn't thirsty, but this is what she drank. A whiskey skin, a glass of gin, which made me shake with fear. A ginger pop with rum on top, a schooner than a beer. A glass of ale, a gin cocktail. She should have had more sense. When she called for more, I fell to the floor, for I had but 50 cents. Of course, I wasn't hungry and didn't care to eat, expecting every moment to be kicked into the street. She said she'd fetch her family round, and some night we'd have fun. When I gave the man the 50 cents, this is what he done. He tore my clothes, he smashed my nose, he hit me on the jaw. He gave me a prize of a pair of black eyes, and he with me swept the floor. He took me where my pants hung loose, and threw me over the fence. Take my advice, don't try it twice, if you've got but 50 cents. This other song, here is a poem we had on the phonograph record. It was called Abdullah Bulbul Amir. And I see in this poetry book it also has the alternative title of Ivan Petrovsky Skavar. And you can see why it could have both titles. The sons of the prophet are valiant and bold and quite unaccustomed to fear. And the bravest of all was a man, so I'm told, called Abdullah Bulbul Amir. When they wanted a man to encourage the van or harass the foe from the rear, storm fort or redoubt, they were sure to call out for Abdullah Bulbul Amir. There are heroes in plenty, well known to fame, the legions that fight for the Tsar, but none of such fame as a man by the name of Ivan Petrovsky Skavar. He could imitate Irving, tell fortunes by cards, and play on a Spanish guitar. In fact, quite the cream of the Muscovite guards was Ivan Petrovsky Skavar. One day this bold Muscovite shouldered his gun, put on his most cynical sneer, and was walking downtown when he happened to run into Abdullah Bulbul Amir. Young man, said Bulbul, is existence so dull that you're anxious to end your career? Then infidel know that you've trod on the toe of Abdullah Bulbul Amir. So take your last look at the sea, sky, and brook. Make your latest report on the war, for I mean to imply that you are going to die O Ivan Petrovsky Skavar. So this first man, he took his trusty shibuk, and murmuring "Ala Aklar," with murder intent, he most savagely went for Ivan Petrovsky Skavar. The Sultan rose up, the disturbance to quell, likewise to give Victor the cheer. He arrived just in time to bid hasty farewell to Abdullah Bulbul Amir. A loud sounding splash from the Danube was heard, resounding o'er meadows afar. It came from a sack getting close to the back of Ivan Petrovsky Skavar. There lieth a stone where the Danube doth roll, and on it in characters clear, our stranger, when passing by, pray for the soul of Abdullah Bulbul Amir. A Muscovite maiden her vigil doth keep by the light of the pale northern star, and the name she repeats every night in her sleep is Ivan Petrovsky Skavar. The author of that, by way, is unknown. Well, I'm sure you know that Kipling's my favorite poet, so you can't get by without listening to a couple of Kipling poems. The first one I'll read is kind of humorous for Kipling, but I think you'll get a kick out of it. It's called "The Post That Fitted." And there's sort of an introductory line that says, "Though tangled and twisted the course of true love, this ditty explains, no tangle so tangled it cannot improve, if the lover has brains." Ere the steamer bore him eastward, Slurry was engaged to marry an attractive girl at Turnbridge, whom he called my little Carrie. Slurry's pay was very modest. Slurry was the other way. Who can cook a 2-plate dinner on 8 paltry dibs a day? Long he pondered o'er the question in the scantily furnished quarters, then proposed to Minnie Bofkin, eldest of Judge Bofkin's daughters. Certainly an impecunious subaltern was not a catch, but the Bofkins knew that Minnie might make another match. So they recognized the business and, to feed and clothe the bride, got him made as something somewhere on the Bombay side. Anyhow, the billet carried pay enough for him to marry. As artless Slurry put it, just the thing for me and Carrie. Did he, therefore, jilt Miss Bofkin, impulse of a baser mind? No, he started epileptic fits of an appealing kind. Of his modus operandi, only this much I could gather. Pure shaven sticks will give you little taste and lots of lather. Frequently in public places his affliction used to smite Slurry with distressing vigor, always in the Bofkin's sight. Ere a week was over, Minnie weepingly returned his ring, told him his unhappy weakness stopped all thought of marrying. Slurry bore the information with a chastened, holy joy. Epileptic fits don't matter in political employ. Wired 3 short words to Carrie, took his ticket, packed his kit, bade farewell to Minnie Bofkin in one last, long, lingering fit. 4 weeks 4 weeks later, Carrie Slurry read and laughed until she wept Mrs. Bofkin's warning letter on the wretched epileptic. Year by year, impious, patient, vengeful Mrs. Bofkin sits, waiting for the Slurry babies to develop Slurry's fits. Most people have heard east is east and west is west. and never the twain shall meet. But not many know the story behind it. But I think it's one of Kipling's real good ones. Grandma Jordan could recite this right up to the day she died, every bit of it. A ballad of East and West. Oh, east is east and west is west, and never the twain shall meet, till earth and sky stand presently at God's great judgment seat. But there is neither east nor west, border nor breed nor birth, when two strong men stand face to face till they come from the ends of the earth. Camel is out with 20 men to raise the border side, and he has lifted the colonel's mare, that is the colonel's pride. He has lifted her out of the stable door between the dawn and day, and turned the calkins upon her feet and ridden her away. Then up spoke the colonel's son, that led a troop of the guides. Is there never a man of all my men can say where camel hides? Then up and spoke Mohammed Khan, the son of the Res Alder. If you know the track of the morning dust, you know where his pickets are. At dusk he harries the Abazai. At dawn he is in the Bonaire. But he must go by Fort Buklaw to his own place to fare. So if he gallop to Fort Buklaw as fast as a bird can fly, by the favor of God, and we cut him off, ere he win the tongue of Jigai. But if he be past the tongue of Jigai, right swiftly turn ye then, for length and breadth of that grisly plain is sown with camel men. There is rock to the left and rock to the right, and low-lean thorn between. And ye may hear a breech-bolt snick whenever a man is seen. The colonel's son has taken a horse, and a raw, rough dun was he, with the mouth of a bell and the heart of hell, and the head of a gallows tree. The colonel's son to the fort has won. They bid him to stay and eat. Who rides the trail of a border thief, he sits not long at his meat. He's up and away in Fort Buklaw as fast as he can fly, till he was aware of his father's mare in the gut of the tongue of Jigai. Then he was aware of his father's mare with camel upon her back, and when he could spy the white of her eye, he made his pistol crack. He has fired once, he has fired twice, but the whistling ball went wide. You shoot like a soldier, Camel said. Show now if you can ride. It's up and over the tongue of Jigai, as blown dust devils go. The dun he fled like a stag of 10, but the mare like the barren doe. The dun he leaned against the bit and slugged his head above, but the red mare played with snaffle bars as a maiden plays with a glove. There was rock to the left and rock to the right, and low-lean thorn between. And thrice he heard a breech-bolt snick, and never a man was seen. They had ridden the low moon out of the sky, their hoofs drummed up the dawn. The dun he went like a wounded bull, but the mare like a new roused fawn. The dun he fell at a water course, in a woeful feat fell he. And Camel has turned the red mare back, and pulled the rider free. He has knocked the pistol out of his hand, small room was there to stride. 'Twas only by favor of mine, quoth he rode so long alive. There was not a rock for 20 miles, there was not a clump of tree, but covered a man of my own men, with a rifle cocked on his knee. If I had raised my bridle hand, as I had held it low, the little jackals that flee so fast were feasting all in a row. If I had bowed my head on my breast, as I have held it high, the kite that whistles above us now were gorged that she could not fly. Lightly answered the colonel's son, do good to bird and beast, but count who come from the broken moats, meets, before ye makest a feast. If there should follow 1,000 swords to carry my bones away, be like the price of a jackal's meal, or more than a thief could pay. They will feed their horse on the standing crop, their men on the garnered grain. The thatch of the buyers will serve their fires when all the cattle are slain. But if thou thinkest the price be fair, thy brethren wait to sup. The hound is kin to the jackal's spawn, howl dog, and call them up. And if thou thinkest the price be high, in steer and gear and stack, give me my father's mare again, and I'll fight my own way back. Camel has gripped him by the hand and set him upon his feet. No talk shall be of dog, said he, when wolf and grey wolf meet. May I eat dirt if thou hast hurt of me in deed or breath. What dam of lances brought thee forth to jest at the dawn of death? Lightly answered the colonel's son, I hold by the blood of my clan. Take up the mare for my father's gift. By God, she has carried a man. The red mare ran to the colonel's son and nestled against his breast. We be two strong men, said Camel then, but she loveth the youngest best. So she shall go with the lifter's dower, my turquoise-studded rein, my broidered saddle and saddlecloth, and silver stirrups again. The colonel's son a pistol drew and held the muzzle end. Ye have taken the one from a foe, said he. Will ye take the mate from a friend? A gift for a gift, said Camel straight. A limb for the risk of a limb. Thy father has sent his son to me. I will send my son to him. With that he whistled his only son that dropped from a mountain crest. He trod the ling like the buck in spring, and he looked like a lance at rest. Now here is thy master, Camel said, who leads a troop of the guides, and thou must ride at his left side, his shield on shoulder rides. Till death or I cut loose the tie, camp and board and bed, thy life is his, thy fate it is, to guard him with thy head. So thou must eat the white queen's meat, and all her foals are thine, and thou must harry the father's hold with a piece of the borderline. And thou must make a trooper tough, and hack thy way to power. Belike they will raise thee to wrestle dar, when I am hanged in Peshawar. They have looked each other between the eyes, and there they have found no fault. They have taken the oath of the brethren blood, on leavened bread and salt. They have taken the oath of the brethren blood on fire and fresh cut sod, on the hilt and haft of the Khyber knife, and the wondrous names of God. The colonel's son, he rides the mare, and Camel's boy the dun. And two have come to Fort Bucklaw, where there went forth but one. And when they drew to the quarter guard, full 20 swords full through clear, was not a man but carried his feud with the blood of the mountaineer. Have done, said the colonel's son. Put up the steel at your sides. Last night ye struck at a border thief. Tonight 'tis a man of the guides. Oh, east is east, and west is west, never the twain shall meet, till earth and sky stand presently at God's great judgment seat. But there is neither east nor west, border nor breed nor birth, when two strong men stand face to face, though they come from the ends of the earth. Well, sweetheart, I think I'll stop there. That's probably as much as you care to hear for one time. Maybe someday we can send some more back and forth. Love you, honey. Bye.